Okay, welcome back to Abomination Vaults, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Uh, things are going fairly well. You know, we're fudging a couple things here and there. We've saved scummed once, but we're still having fun, and that's what matters. So, at the end of the last one, we killed the Mist Stalker that was in here, and we leveled up to level 2. So I spent some time doing that. Like I said, I had most of that kind of picked out, but I actually went through again and made a few changes. And Wibble actually got a bit of a respec. And then I did some shopping as well. So let's go over all this stuff. So Garziel is level 2 now. He's got 36 health. And for some upgrades, I gave him Splint Mail. So now he's got 20 AC. More importantly, though, I got him a sturdy shield minor. This cost 100 gold pieces. And I just bought it. I mean, you can craft it, of course. Um, even if you don't know the formula, which was not the case in the old days. In the old days of 2nd edition, you did have to know the formula. But now with the remaster, it just adds an extra day to the initial craft. So you can craft most things, common items, just by spending time. But it's a lot of time. You know, at Wibble's current degree of crafting, because he's still trained in it at level 2, really what he would hope to reduce the cost of an item crafting would be 3 silver pieces per day. So this thing is 100 gold. You pay 50 up front, and then every day you spend working on it reduces the total cost by 3 silver. Meaning that if he spends 10 days, he has reduced the cost from 100 gold to 97 gold. It's just not really worth that much time. I mean, if it was a big thing, and it was one of those times where it's like, all right, you guys have like a year off. What are you doing? Then I guess, sure, spend a year working on some awesome piece of item, awesome piece of equipment. And at higher levels, at levels, say, 6, if you're an expert, you're reducing it by 2 gold per day. So 10 days of that, you cut 20 gold off the cost. You spend 100 days, you cut 200 gold off the cost. Anyways, I just bought it because we don't have that kind of time. But it's a really excellent shield. It has hardness 8. So that means whenever you shield block with it, it cuts 8 off of the damage instead of 5. But even better, it's got 64 health and 32 broken threshold. So we won't have to repair it quite as often. And it can tank quite a few hits. So that's a pretty big upgrade for Garziel. I think that's good. So now he'll have a shielded AC of 22 and reduced damage by 8. As for his level 2 stuff, he now has intimidating prowess. So he, in situations where he can physically menace the target when he demoralizes, he has a +1 circumstance bonus to the intimidation check. That would be most situations. I guess, like, if you're talking to someone telepathically and trying to intimidate them, then maybe not. But I feel like most of the time, physically menace the target. Yeah, so +1 to intimidation. And we got martial dedication. So the dedication stuff is sort of the multi-class. Whenever you would get a class feat, you can instead take a dedication feat from some other class or archetype. And then after you take the initial one, you can then go down sort of the line and take class feats from that class instead whenever you would get a class feat. So I went with martial dedication because it again goes into intimidation. And so this let Garziel become an expert in intimidation, which is good. And it also surrounds him in a 10-foot aura that grants him and allies within it +1 status bonus to saving throws against fear. None of the initial dedication feats at level 2 are very big. Like, none of them do much. It's just kind of the prerequisite so that you can take those class feats as you go. So actually, a few of the characters took dedication feats, because the level 2 class feats, overall, not amazing stuff. And there is an optional rule you can do where you get free archetype feats. So you can actually get stuff like this for free as you go, which is kind of interesting, but we're not playing with that. Okay, so that's Garziel. Nothing too fancy there, but yeah, I wanted to go more into his intimidation stuff because it gives him the demoralize action that he can do all the time, and he should be decently good at it. He's got a +8 to intimidation now, so you know when he rolls demoralize, that should be like +9. Not too shabby. Buzzard is up to 38 health, which is pretty nice. For his feats, he took, he went all in on acrobatics, really. I don't know why. Because he's a bouncy goblin, so I just figured he's just a little wrecking ball. So I went with Catfall. It allows him to treat falls as if they were 10 feet shorter. If he's an expert in acrobatics, treat falls as 25 feet shorter. And, of course, he is now an expert in acrobatics, because I went with acrobatic dedication, which gave him expert in acrobatics. And whenever he critically succeeds at an acrobatics check to tumble through an enemy space, he doesn't treat the enemy space as difficult terrain. So he could tumble through like a line of shit. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't really have that many good choices as far as I saw that make him more just of a killing machine. So I was like, okay, let's make it interesting. So now he can... So he treats falls as if they were 25 feet shorter now, which is nuts. And Bouncy Goblin... no, what is it? Unbreakable Goblin, that's what it is. Unbreakable Goblin, when he falls, reduce the falling damage he takes as though he had fallen half the distance. So say he jumps off a 75-foot cliff. It becomes then 50 feet for him. And he would take 25 damage, but then we'd cut that in half, and he would take 12 damage. So right now he could jump off a 75-foot cliff and take 12 damage. Whereas an ordinary character would take 37, I think. So yeah. just sort of fucking Looney Tunes shit, basically. Alright, anyways. Yeah, so there's not much else to say about what he got. That's pretty much it. And he didn't get any fun new pieces of equipment or anything, so... Yeah, nothing too crazy with old Buzzard. Wimble, of course, got the biggest change, because I was just like, this character is not very good as I have built him. I was looking around what other people said about rogues with guns, and they all seem to recommend the same thing. And that's a scoundrel rogue instead of a mastermind rogue, and taking the pistol phenom dedication. Okay, so the scoundrel lets you use the feint action, which is deception, a deception check. Normally, feint is only used in melee, but Scoundrel, well, okay, we'll get to that. But Scoundrel lets you use feint to cause the target to go off guard until the end of your next turn. And on a crit, target's off guard against all melee attacks until the end of your next turn, not just yours. Because feint normally, feint normally causes the target to be off guard against the next melee attack that you attempt before the end of your current turn. So now, Scoundrel, if we succeed on the feint, it lasts until the end of my next turn. So we don't even have to do the feint the following turn. And if we critically succeed, obviously, everyone gets to make it off guard, which is awesome. But that's all for melee. And that's where Pistol Phenom dedication comes in. Because this gives us the Pistol Twirl feat from Gunslinger for free. When we're holding a loaded one-handed ranged weapon, our feint can be used against opponents within the required weapon's first range increment, which is usually like 30 feet, I think. And if we succeed, the foe is off guard against your melee and ranged attacks. And then a critical success is I believe critical success is the same thing. It's not really phrased properly here, but I believe the intention is that if you critically succeed now, the foe is... It still has the feint thing, so it's still off guard against all your allies' melee attacks, but then also your ranged attacks. But on a critical failure, you're off guard against target's melee and ranged attacks rather than only its melee attacks. But this allows us to use the feint action at a distance to easily get off guard. We were kind of trying to do that with the hiding part of distracting shadows, but this is a lot better because it can also enable all of our allies to get off guard as well. And we don't have to try and hide behind somebody or move into some sort of position. Wherever we're standing, as long as we're within 30 feet, we're good. So, of course, I had to swap out the long air repeater, because we needed a one-hand weapon. So now we have the air repeater. And I went ahead and spent 35 gold for a potency rune for it. So we've got a +1 air repeater. Now... This thing is not as good as crits. It's not as good on crits. It doesn't get the fatal or anything like that. But it's an agile weapon, so we can shoot it multiple times with less penalty. And it holds 6 pellets in its magazines. So, yeah, but mostly for the feint, because what we're really looking for is sneak attack damage. Okay, that's mostly it. So he is an expert in deception. And I actually took assurance in deception, although I don't think that's really going to come into play too often. Because during combat, like, that's almost never going to hit. We're going to have to roll for it. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Definitely see how it goes. And then finally, Botha. So Botha got a basic lesson. So she actually she's the only one to actually take her own class feat at level 2. But she got the Lesson of Life, which gives us the Life Boost Hex, which we can cast as a focus spell. And this gives a target within 30 feet fast healing 2 for 4 rounds. So they'll heal 2 every round. And our familiar learns Spirit Link. I didn't prepare this spell, but we could. Basically, for 10 minutes, we target one creature, and at the start of all of our turns, if the target is below max hit points, it regains 2 hit points, and Botha loses that many hit points. The problem is Botha has no hit points, and that's almost never going to be a good idea. So, yeah. And then for her skill feat, she took Assurance in Nature. And with this now, if we have Natural Medicine prepared, so like if we have fresh ingredients to get the +2, that means we can now do Assurance and automatically succeed on a Treat Wounds check, which is pretty nice. So then spell casting, we gained a new spell slot. So Summon Animal. And I was starting to look at Summon Animal. I was reading about Summon Animal. This is an excellent spell. I have always kind of dismissed the summon spells as being pretty shit in like D&D type games, but it's actually pretty great here. So I've prepared it twice, so we can cast this twice per day, and lets you summon a creature that has the animal trait and whose level is -1 to fight for you. So, yeah, depending on what level spell rank you're casting this at, that determines the max creature level that you can bring out. So right now we have to bring a -1 level creature, which of course is pretty weak, but not as weak as you'd think. And so if we go to the bestiary, and we go to animal, okay, and we go to -1. These are all our choices. I don't know if you're allowed to grab uncommon stuff. And I would say to just ignore anything that doesn't have an image, because that's sort of pretty obscure stuff. But still, there's a decent amount of little choices here. But based on what people said online, the best choice that you're most of the time going to want to do is the Compy from Jurassic Park 2. So these things, again, pretty weak, only 8 hit points. So at this point, if they get hit, they're probably going to die. But, you know. They get, however, +7 on their strike, which is not atrocious. And it has agile, so they can, +3 and then -1. Does 1d6 damage, which is not too hot. But it also has Compy Venom. So the target has to make, whenever they hit, DC 16 Fortitude check. If they fail that, they take 1d6 poison damage and become enfeebled for 1 round. Which is going to affect most creatures' attack rolls, because it's strength-based melee attack rolls and damage rolls. So that's pretty great. And then if they fail that check the following turn, they take 1d8 poison damage and enfeebled 1. Yeah, so I mean, it's not off the charts insane, obviously. It's a level 1 spell. But it's just like an extra attacker that could do basically as much damage as fucking Wibble can do. So, yeah, it's pretty good. And then as you go up in levels, so say we can then summon a level 1 creature, then they recommend the Cave Scorpion. So we'll be able to get this guy out next level, level 3. This guy has 20 health. Attacks with a +9 pincer with agile for 1d8 +2 damage. And then gets a grab action. Which is also, I believe, +7. But I think, yeah, it's +7 because it doesn't suffer from the penalty. +7 against their Fortitude DC. And if we grab the target, I mean, that helps a lot. Or it can use its Stinger to use Cave Scorpion Venom, DC 17 Fortitude, poison damage, enfeebled, poison, and enfeebled, so on and so forth. So, pretty good. Pretty good to have. And, so it lasts up to 1 minute. You have to sustain it as an action. So, on Botha's turn, she has to spend one of her actions to sustain the creature, the spell. And when she sustains it, it then gets 2 actions to take. So basically, instead of having 3 actions per turn, she's going to split it and have 2 for herself and 2 for the creature. But overall, that is an improvement in action economy, especially because very often Botha doesn't know what the fuck to do with her 3rd action anyways, so it all works out. So I think it's pretty great. We'll see how it works out. Okay, I think we're ready to move on then. Yeah, I spent a lot of money, but most of that went towards Garzeal's shield and armor and the rune for Wibble. So we're fairly broke now. 15 gold left. But let's continue on. Oh yeah, we didn't search this room. I'm going to do that now. DC 18 perception check. No problem for Wibble. Boom. We found a secret door, finally. So we get a guard cache of items. Look at this. Get a couple Bravos Brew. For next hour, you get +1 bonus to will saves, +2 in attempting will saves against fear. Not bad. I think we're still at the point where I'd just prefer to have money. But yeah. Oh, a couple lesser healing potions. These are the big boys. I mean, for us, 2d8 +5. Very nice. They are worth 12 each, but these are the sort of things that I would more likely use. So we'll give 1 to Garzeal, 1 to Buzzard. You got a Skeptic's Elixir Moderate, +1 to perception checks, perception DCs to notice falsehoods, and bonus to will saves. But again, this is worth 50 gold pieces. It seems a little overtuned, but we're definitely going to sell that. And an oak potion. This gives you, for 10 minutes, the effects of a 2nd rank Oaken Resilience. Resistance 2 to bludgeoning and piercing, weakness 3 to fire. So for 10 minutes, Garzeal would get resistance 2 to bludgeoning and piercing. Or I could sell it for 7.5 gold. Oh, boy. The thing is, like, runes are really good. You know, base magic items. Anything that bumps up your stats permanently is really good. And you just need a lot of money. So, it is what it is. Okay. Garzeal opens the door to a long hallway. So I guess we're going to go up to this first door. I hear sounds. And we enter into a very trippy room. The cracks around the edge of this door glow faintly with greenish light, like the door to area B28. Yeah, of course. B28, we were there. No. An ancient tattered sofa sits against the east wall of this room. The south wall shimmers with strange green light. Okay, this looks like the northern wall is shimmering, but I guess they're all shimmering. This private reading room was the second room in which Otari Ilvashti sought shelter in his desperate final days. When the heroes enter this room, the green light forms the message, Belcora fell to the Rose Guard, but we never knew of these vaults below. A moment later, the words slide off the wall and slither away. If the heroes follow, the ribbon creeps back up to area C06 and then past the stairs at area C10. Here, the ribbon hesitantly climbs the northern stair only to turn around and quickly slither further east. The ghostly light enters Area C11, curls onward to Area C33, and then through the eastern door and down the stairs before fading. The heroes can pick up the final clue of Otari's path in Area D16. Okay, we're going to skip all that. It's a lot of talk. Let's open this room. An ancient sofa with its covering torn open and its stuffing and springs revealed sits against the west wall of this room. I think we trigger this haunt, as far as I can tell. Yeah. We're just gonna skip haunts. Because it's just like, I feel like the whole point of haunts is that you don't just get told how to solve it. If you're just told how to solve it, it's not very interesting. And so for solo, it just doesn't quite work for us. Alright, next room. This large cross-shaped chamber contains several long couches, the leather cushions that once adorned them cracked with age. Dead plants lie slumped in planter boxes along the walls, and a long dry fountain depicting a lighthouse stands in the middle of the room. The fountain and plants have long since dried up. A unique undead creature dwells here. Augriel is a Morlock ghoul exiled by his living kin among the Ghost Queen Morlocks above, just as he's reviled by the ghouls of the Cult of the Canker who occupy this level. As he hasn't been steeped in the maliciousness of or fervor of either group, Augriel is quite calm and collected. When the heroes arrive, he greets them cordially, but cautiously. Augriel wants only to dwell within these dungeons, reading and feeding on undead flesh. He has little taste for flesh that was merely once living. He has hazy recollections of how he and the other Ghost Queen Morlocks came up from below and fought the ghouls, as the ghoul fever he contracted fragmented his memories. Augriel's initial attitude to the heroes is indifferent, but it becomes friendly if the heroes prove that Augriel's chief rival among the Morlocks, Growlgust, is dead. The heroes can convince him to accompany them with a successful DC 20 diplomacy check to request his aid, or with a successful intimidation check to coerce him. He attacks in a rage on a critical failure. He won't leave this level under any circumstances. Augriel's propensity to glut himself on ghouls the heroes defeat is both off-putting and macabre. So, you don't have to kill Growlgust then to recruit him, because what it does is it bumps up his attitude. And if we go to the skill section, I believe there should be a section here on attitude. Yes. It's also under conditions. So right now he's indifferent. A creature that's indifferent to a character doesn't really care one way or the other about that character. Whereas friendly it is likely to agree to a request from that character as long as they are simple, safe, and don't cost too much to fulfill. Blah, blah, blah. So there's no, like, mechanical... There's no mechanical benefit to him being friendly or anything. Well, there's a little bit. Okay, so coerce. So if you critically succeed on a coerce, you know, they help you out for a time not exceeding 1 day, at which point they become unfriendly. If you just succeed, though, well, if you critically succeed, they become unfriendly, but they're too scared of you to retaliate in the short term. If you succeed, once they become unfriendly, they might decide to act against you by reporting you to the authorities or assisting your enemies. If you fail, however, and they weren't already unfriendly or hostile, they become unfriendly. If you critically fail, they become hostile if they weren't already. But yeah, I think overall it's more of just a narrative thing rather than it's saying, oh, when you request from an indifferent, you get -2 to the roll, or something like that. It's more narrative than that, which is honestly kind of surprising considering the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's... I don't know. Anyways, we're probably not going to recruit this guy. We'll just, greet him and be on our way. You get 30 XP if you gain him as an ally, which is pretty good. But we've got shit to do. Should we go back up to B16? That sounds pretty good. Let's get out of this floor. I only imagine things are more dangerous as we go. Okay, so let's go back up to the servants' quarters. And that would be this room? C01? Yeah, C01. Okay. So we'll just grab everybody from over here. Teleport. Oh, God. Okay. A little cramped here. We burst through the door. Okay. Only a few fragments of the shelving that once lined the walls of this pantry remain today. The Morlocks first entered the dungeon's second level through this room. Most of the gear and shelving once stored here has been scavenged for other projects. Okay. Not much to speak of then. Let's go into this room. Slowly shift everybody over. Well, it's apparent that this large room was originally a kitchen. The furnishings have been rebuilt and repositioned to create an improvised shrine. The western end of the hall, where a large fireplace for cooking food once stood, now serves as an altar of sorts. Looming over a human corpse is a towering statue in a feminine shape made of bones, covered in sheets of moldering cloth and hanging moss. A bare spot on the room's north wall has been decorated with mud and blood to depict the same feminine form as the statue. Okay. Sounds like we can enter without much issue here. The Ghost Queen Morlocks erected the shrine to honor Belcora, but as the Morlocks fear the ghost as much as they revere her, they only rarely enter to provide periodic sacrifices, the latest of which was one of the thieves from Crook's Nook. DC 15, religion check. Why is her religion so bad? She's not religious at all. She's an atheist, but he's a champion. His is also shit, but Wibble's good at everything. He's the genius of the group. Okay, there you go, 15. The divinity worshipped here isn't a well-known goddess, but the bloody scrawl on the wall over the secret door is likely meant to illustrate someone of importance to the cult. And yeah, we did see that image of Belcora, so it's a crude depiction of the same woman. There's a lost thief. DC 16 society check. No, he has no idea who this is. And finally, trying to find the secret door. He does actually find the secret door. Morlocks discovered this door shortly after they arrived, but the one time they opened it to look inside, they were scared off by the shadow within. They believe the secret door leads to a place sacred to the Ghost Queen. They decorated the wall where the secret door is located to placate their patron and haven't opened it since. Okay, but we do get the offerings left here, and of course we'll take it. A +1 potency rune that I just spent 35 gold on. Damn. I mean, we could slap it onto, we could slap it onto Botha's sling. That's not really worth it. But then we also have a fear gem, so we can put this onto a weapon. Ooh. Ooh. And this will give us intimidating strike. So for 2 actions, you make a melee strike. If you hit and deal damage, the target is frightened 1 or frightened 2 on a critical hit. That's pretty good. Because frightened stacks, you know? And frightened is a really good status condition, you know, to put on. It lowers all of their checks and DCs, like everything across the board. So, and there's no limit to this. Like, he can just do this again and again. So he could demoralize and then just keep intimidating strike every turn and raising his shield. It's pretty good. Does it take anything special to engrave this? I guess I didn't think so, because I had already bought that potency rune and slapped it on. Oh, no. I think I've been doing this all wrong. Yeah, I think I've been doing this all wrong. I have not been able to do what I think I've been doing. Because to etch runes or to transfer runes, you have to be able to craft magic items. So I have not been doing that properly. That's good to know. Now, there are places in town, though, that can assist me with this. I think I just have to spend more money. I mean, I assume Rin can do these sort of things. There's definitely a section where it talks about the things you can do in Otari. It's gonna be in the Gazetteer, wherever the fuck that is. Uh, mm, uh, mm. I mean, maybe I'm making some dangerous assumptions here. Also, there's chapters. Oh yeah, see, it's really good for me to read this kind of stuff. An important event should take place before they dive too deeply into the Abomination vaults. It's best if this event takes place at night, while the heroes have line of sight to Gauntlet's cupola, such as when they retreat to rest, or perhaps even right after they defeated the vampiric mist in Area 25. The hero should be second level for this event. Okay, so, yeah, we haven't gone too far. And then I have to do this Dead Tide for Otari event. We'll keep that in mind. Shit. Okay. The Otari Garrison. Why the Otari Garrett? Well, they sell runes, I guess. Yeah. So it's mentioned that you can just buy a +1 weapon or armor for the cost of the rune. You know, and the weapon is just included in that price. So that's good. That means that my Wibble's gun was not fudged in any way because he just bought it, I guess, with the rune already in place. But yeah, for etching runes. I think like I feel like we could go to this guy and he could etch it for us. And there's just no like no guideline for how much it would cost, how much you'd pay the guy to do that, you know. Boy. I mean, what the fuck is the rule here? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think I saw someone else said maybe, like, just paying 10% of the cost of the rune. Which is the same as transferring what you'd have to pay if you transfer the rune. Rune stone. Oh, wait a minute. This is not a property rune. Wait a minute. Is that... This is a one-time use? I'm going into all this for a fucking one-time use item? It's a talisman. Talismans are single-use consumable items, which must be attached to an item via the affix a talisman 10-minute activity to function. Wow. Okay, that's not nearly as good as I thought then. Shit. Because then it's like, okay, I spend 2 actions to make this intimidating strike using the item. And then maybe I'll hit with it. And then if I do hit with it, you know, it's like frightened 1. Ah, damn, that's not nearly as good. I guess I could slap it on, but we could also just sell it for 10 gold. Oh, boy. Yeah, fuck it. We sell everything around here. Obviously, the Bloodstone. Okay, well, there was a lot of pointlessness in looking all that up. I mean, we'll need to know that eventually, I assume. But, yeah, okay. Okay, let's continue through the secret door into the crypt. This 5-foot wide hallway features 3 alcoves along each side. Stone sarcophagi stand upright within each. Belcor planned to inter her favorite followers in this small crypt. Due to her high standards and hard-to-please nature, only one servant ever had the honor of being buried here, her first major domo. Today, the major domo exists as a shadow-like undead who retains her appearance from life but otherwise functions as a standard shadow. That's not good. Okay, well, it's going to emerge then as soon as he enters. Level 4 undead, incorporeal, so it resists all damage for 5 except force, ghost touch, or vitality. Double resistance versus non-magical. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. I think in that case, animal companion, not too good. Wow, it rolled very, very poorly on its initiative. Yeah, rolled a 1. Excellent. Begin encounter. Let's get some better music going here, shall we? What do we got? Combat music. Skittering darkness. Excellent. All right, Buzzard is up first. Does Buzzard want to probably wait for after Garziel? But I don't think we're going to get much of a flank here anyway. But Garziel might be able to demoralize it. So Buzzard will wait. Okay, Wibble. Fuck it. Let's say they moved out. And that's when combat started. Is that cheap? Or would I do that as a DM? Yeah, I probably would do that as a DM. I'd probably say, like, okay, and from out of the sarcophagi, a ghost bursts out into the hallway and roll initiative. I honestly, I'm not fudging anything here. That's probably what I would say. And it is advantageous to players, but I think it makes sense. Okay, so Wibble is, of course, going to attempt his first ever feint. It's 30 feet, but, you know, it's good. So we're going to do a good old feint. And, of course... There it is. Wait a minute. Okay. Deception. Crit. Wow. Well, then we're just going to mark it as off guard. It's off guard. Basically against everything. Until the end of Wibble's next turn. This thing's going to get destroyed. Damn, that's really good. Alright, well, let's just shoot it then. Okay. I added a few extra settings and modules and stuff, so now if I hit, it automatically brings up the damage screen, which is kind of handy. Okay. No damage. No damage. Oh, double resistance versus non-magical. Yeah, his gun is non-magical. So he benefits the least from this turn. And then he critically missed. Okay. Oh, well. Yeah, alright. Batha. Batha, I guess, will step out. Now, if I use Fast Healing 2 on this creature, will it take damage? It says Vitality, so I think so. So she'll move and she'll cast Life Boost on it. I think that'll work. And then she'll cast Guidance on Buzzard. There you go. Okay, Garziel is going to move up. And he's going to just swing. Because that's what he do. He hit. Good. 7 damage, so 2 damage. Not very good. And then he'll raise his shield. Okay, and Buzzard. 5, 10, 15. And then he's going to tumble through. And he'll use guidance on that. It's important I succeed. He failed. Quite massively, actually. So that was his first action. His second action will be to... I don't know, it depends. Can I move here? You think this is legal? Do we think this is legal? Would a DM allow that? Probably, right? I mean, maybe you'd count this as difficult terrain at the worst. But it's a square. There's no walls. It was, you know, the creature was in that space. Why can't I be in that space? So, but even if you count it as difficult terrain, that's 10 and then 20. So, whatever. There you go. We don't need to tumble through this bastard. And we missed. Damn. Okay. Now it gets to go. Now it says that it's healed for 2 damage. But really, it should take 2 damage. As far as I understand rules of things, it's undead. So... you know. I don't know how to adjudicate that, but he took 2 damage. Did we? No, we did more damage than that. Garziel did 2 damage. So he should be at 36 now. Okay. So he's got Shadow Hand as a pretty powerful attack. 2d6 plus 3 Void. And then he can do Steel Shadow to make the creature enfeebled. And when a creature shadow is pulled free by Steel Shadow, it becomes a shadow spawn under the command of the shadow that created it. Perpetually Clumsy 2. If the creature the shadow spawn was pulled from dies, the shadow spawn becomes full-fledged autonomous shadow. If the creature recovers from its enfeeblement, its shadow returns to it, and the shadow spawn is extinguished. Okay. Well, then he will target with his Shadow Hand, of course. Ooh, miss. That is a bummer for you, my friend. Yeah, thanks to that new armor. Bumping our AC up. Alright, well, he'll try again. And there he hit. Just barely. For 8 damage. Okay, well, thankfully we will block it entirely. So he didn't do any damage with it, but he did hit. So he can use Steel Shadow. And it just happens. So he just becomes enfeebled 1. And we get a shadow spawn, which is perpetually Clumsy 2. Okay, and then I think we have to add this man the initiative. And he rolled a crit. Alright. Well, I mean, it'll probably just attack the person it came from, right? That makes the most sense. He's like just as powerful. What the fuck? The fuck? 8 damage. No blocking that. Now it specifically said that he cannot... yeah, he doesn't have Steel Shadow, so you can't just keep repeating that. But it's a concern. Critical miss. And critical miss. Okay. Wibble Fizzle Crank. Unfortunately, Wibble is not very good in this fight because he has no way to really damage this thing. What am I going to do? I ain't got no magic. I just have a gun. A gun should solve everything. I guess he's just gonna shoot, but not great. Okay, he hit. No, I have to crit in order to do damage to the Major Domo. Yeah, I have to crit. Which is really frustrating, because this damage would be not too shabby. Okay, it wouldn't be great. It's mostly now he's here to feint. That's mostly what he's here for. I don't know, I'm not even going to waste a bullet. What's the point? Okay, Botha. Oh, no, maybe I should have refeinted. Yeah, I think I should refeint. It's not an attack roll, so he critically failed. So it is... I am off guard to the Major Domo, but I don't think that's much of a concern. He would have to really go out of his way, which he could. But Garziel's gonna go. He is enfeebled 1. Is there a way to shrug that off? Enfeebled decreases by 1 every hour. So no, we would need some sort of... That scroll that I fucking sold. Sound body would have helped him out. Fuck. Wait. I skipped Bob's turn. I guess she could use heal on the Major Domo. Might be our best bet. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna cast Life Boost on Garziel. And then we're going to cast Heal targeted on the Major Domo. God, I wish there was some assurance of that damage. Okay, failed at least. He doesn't even... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, most of these undead we're fighting don't have vitality weakness. They can just take vitality damage. So that's really just a massive waste. It bothers me. Such a fucking waste of a rank 1 spell doing 2 damage in any situation is miserable. Alright, Garziel. So he should heal too. I don't know. I don't think that happened. Then he's going to try, so this thing is not off guard anymore. So he's going to try demoralizing it, as he does. He could use Lay on Hands instead, which would do a guaranteed amount of damage. But demoralizing could be good. This is what he does. Intimidating Prowess. And he did succeed, so it's frightened one. Yeah, how do you like to be frightened, asshole? Then we're gonna swing. And miss with a 2. Damn, man. And then we will raise our shield. Alright, Buzzard. He's gonna rage. He's going to rage. And then he's gonna swing. Okay, a hit is a hit. Nine damage. And then he's gonna swing a second time. Miss. And now we go through this onslaught. Okay, so he's not healed for 2. He takes 2, so he goes 25, 23. And then he's going to target Garziel. They're all beating the shit out of Garziel. He missed. Roll a 4. Oof. Okay. But he didn't miss the second time. 6 damage, easily blocked. He could use Slinking Shadows to actually hide in the shadows here. He actually has a very high chance of being hidden from every creature. And then that would be a DC 11 flat check. I mean, it would be a pretty powerful option for him. So I guess we'll do that. So I'm going to target everybody, and we're going to roll his hide check. Yep, he critically succeeded. That doesn't make any difference, but... he is hidden. Fuck. Okay, and then the other shadow will target Garziel, because that's what it's doing. Critical miss, thank God. Miss. Yes, it's all coming together. His shadow is just lashing out everything he's got. Okay, we managed to survive that. Okay, Wibble actually has an important role here. In the seeking. He's going to use the seek action to try and find this thing and make an observed. Any hidden creature you succeed against becomes observed by you, and then you could point it out. So yes, he's going to gonna roll perception. He gets keen eyes. Haha, I've been waiting this whole time to use keen eyes. Oh yeah, baby, that's a success. Because that's against his stealth DC. Which is not his stealth check that he did. I don't think. That's just his passive. Because people are discussing this, that there's only one roll off. There's only one time throughout all of 2nd edition Pathfinder where you roll against another person's roll, and that's initiative. That's it. So all the other times, you're rolling against a static number. One way or the other. So his static number is stealth plus 10, which is 24. So we succeeded. So he is now... he's now observed to Wibble, who used seek. And then we can do point out. Oh no, point out is hidden. Okay, so how do you make... Um, hmm. I don't really know, I guess. It's kind of weird, because you'd think that, like, the Major Domo would have... It would be like, they can hide in a shadow to get concealed for a turn, or something like that. But this says he can hide in a creature or object's shadow. I don't think there's much purpose of this in combat. If you successfully become hidden to a creature but then cease to have cover or greater cover against it or be concealed from it, you become observed again. If a creature uses Seek to make you observed by it, you must successfully hide to become hidden from it again. I mean, I guess it's... I don't know. Based on the rules, I'm not really sure. Based on the narrative, I think it's pretty clear. Like, during all the shifting movement and things like that, it's not really a lightly lit room. You know, the Major Domo slipped into Garziel's shadow and was hidden. But Wibble, you know, noticed this and spotted him in the shadow and then, you know, shouted like, hey, dude, it's in your shadow. I don't know if I specifically have to take the point out action to make that mechanically beneficial, because this seems that the Major Domo is not undetected. The Major Domo is hidden. I guess by the rules, by Raw, Wibble now can attack the Major Domo without rolling the DC 11. But no matter what, the other three characters will have to use the Seek action to spot it in order to remove that DC 11 check. And that's it. Like, this, this is just a special thing that the Major Domo is just inside of Garziel's shadow and basically has one step up from concealed. Hidden is just one step up from concealed. And we've dealt with concealed during combat, like with that Miststalker and stuff like that. We just haven't really dealt with hidden in combat like this, where it's like, it's pretty obvious where it is. It's just hard to hit. That's really what it is. It's not that we don't know where it is or anything like that. It's just really hard to hit because it's inside of a shadow. That's the whole purpose of it doing that, I think. So, in order for them to remove the DC 11 flat check, they would have to seek or wait until the Major Domo attacks or something like that. It's purely a defensive move for a turn. So I think that's the intention here. That being said, though, I mean, that Seek check is a bitch. 24 stealth. It's really hard to pinpoint it in the shadow. You're probably better off just going for the DC 11 check, but... Okay, so Wibble did his first turn of a Seek. Then he's going to do a feint. Because there's no feint immunity or anything like that, so he's just gonna feint. Crit. Excellent. We can just add off guard then to him. But he's still hidden. There's no way around that. I guess I could shoot again. There's just really not much else for me to do. There's probably some action I'm not considering. Aiding or something I could do, but we'll just take a shot. You never know, you might crit. Okay, I didn't crit. So again, even if I roll max damage here, it won't do anything. Alright, Vatha. I don't know, man. I don't know. Caustic Blast. If I can... No matter what, you're not going to be able to... We're going to hit somebody with this. So I guess... Buzzard takes full damage. Major Domo takes nothing, and the other shadow takes no damage. Great. We spent our turn dealing 5 damage to Buzzard. Yeah, there's not much else to do. Damn it. This is really just brutal melee brawl here. Alright. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Not a whole lot else to do. So we will swing. And, miss. Barely. And then we'll swing. And potentially hit. Let's roll the 1d20. We have a 50% chance to miss. We missed. Forget the damage. Didn't happen. Alright, Buzzard. Buzzard, you got this, man. You got this. You got this by the ass. He crit. Now, if I fail this roll, I'm throwing my computer across the room. You son of a bitch. Dude, that is so fucking... Oh, boy. That's... I mean... Oh, boy. Okay, we landed another hit. And we yeah. Holy shit. Hidden is insanely good! 50... I mean, I already know that from playing fucking Wrath of the Righteous so many times. High-level concealment is disgusting. He's got nothing else. I guess he'll swing at this other shadow. Just for funsies. Yeah, critical miss. Okay, Major Domo gets to go. Does not heal for 2. Takes 2. It's been the most effective thing so far. He's down to 21. So now he's going to target Garziel, who's off guard to this attack. It will almost certainly hit. You know what? Fuck it. No, he wouldn't. He would target Buzzard because he wants to rip out Buzzard's shadow as well. So Buzzard is off guard to this. Doesn't matter. He crit. So this is going to be stupid amount of damage. 16. Goni's Liberating Step. No, we want to block this other shadow's hit. So Buzzard takes 16 damage. Then, Hidden is gone. And he's going to steal his shadow. another shadow spawn here. This is getting ridiculous. I'd like to think that I'd like to think that once a major domo is down, the other shadows disappear. But I don't know if that's really represented here. So I don't know. There's a lot of comments on Reddit about how brutal Abomination vaults can be on the first few floors. The major domo is mentioned. Oh, and there's actually a post discussing its Slink and Shadow ability and how that works in combat and blah blah blah. I think I ran it sort of as intended. But yeah. Pretty rough. Anyways, what are we doing? Right, so he attacked, he stole its shadow, and then he could hide again, but we'll be a little nicer and just have him do another shadow hand attack for 2d6 plus 3 damage. So not too nice. Not too nice at all. And let's get this shadow in the combat. Okay. He rolled a 1. That's excellent. Alright, this shadow over here, targeting Garzeal with everything it's got. Miss. We love to see stuff like that. Hit. For 9 damage. No. Okay. Pretty certain I raised my shield. There you go. And then a third strike. You never know. Miss. Okay, Wibble, Fizzle Crank. Really running out of options here. As always, we will attempt some feints. And he could just feint 3 times. Although they're flanking, so it doesn't really matter that much. Wibble is just useless here, to be honest. Okay, so that's a failure. His second feint. Failure. He's just like twirling his pistols non-stop in the background. Okay, he wasted his whole turn. That's I have 2 useless characters here. I'm not gonna Caustic Blast again, that would be pointless. But I can't do anything else. Fuck! This is terrible! Okay, it does mention that it has light vulnerability. So an object shedding magical light, such as from the light spells, treated as magical when used to attack the shadow. So I could cast light onto a sling bullet, and then shoot the sling bullet. And probably just miss. I crit with the sling bullet. Okay, this still could do nothing. Yeah, 4 damage. Nothing. Fuck. Alright, Garziel. Come on. You got this now. Just swing. Okay, you hit. Crit would have been nice, but you hit. Damn, that enfeebled. Good. 9 damage. 4 damage. Then you're going to swing a second time and miss. Good. And then you're going to raise your shield. Boom. Shield raised. Alright, Buzzard. It all comes down to you. You don't... Just do that crit again. It was all good. Just do that crit again. Nope, you missed. Roll the 2. And then roll a 3. Critical miss. And then roll a -2. Maybe you'll crit. No, you critically miss. Fuck! This might be it. This might be the end. We failed to drop the Major Domo. So this other shadow is targeting Buzzard with everything it's got, which is almost certainly going to kill him. Yep, crit. Crit on a 13, by the way. Christ. 22 damage. Liberating Step is not saving Buzzard. He is dying too. He was crit. That's very bad. I mean, this shadow probably would just keep slaughtering Buzzard, but we'll be a little nice to ourselves, I guess. Keep moving. Miss. Critical miss. Major Domo. Will also attack Garziel. 15. The hit. 10 damage. Block. Miss. And we'll just keep attacking at this point. He actually hit on the third one. 11 damage to Garziel. Okay, and then the other shadow goes. Also targets Garziel. Has no block. So he's just taking it. 11 more damage to... This is bad. This is another wipe, I think. The fact that I fucking whiffed, well, I crit while he was hidden, and then I whiffed. That was... That's so fucking excruciating, man. Okay, and the fact that I have 2 characters that are essentially useless during this fight. And this is a really good lesson, though. Because I'm fairly new to Pathfinder, all things considered. You know, I played the PC games quite a bit, but it's a different experience doing something like this, and actually going turn-based and really thinking about it, and just seeing how useless characters can be. It's really kind of important to be prepared for all sorts of different fights and occasions and situations. And had I done better shopping, I probably could have found things that would be useful here. For both of these characters. I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough fight no matter what. That resistance 5 against all damage is just rough. But yeah, the fact that Wibble is so punished because he has a ranged weapon, and I don't know what you do for ammunition. I guess I hoped that having a magic gun makes you bypass that reduction. But obviously, based on the automation here, it does not seem to be the case. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. I mean, Garziel's not going to be able to drop this thing before he dies. We already used our heal spell. I feel like this is another TPK. Just because Botha can't do anything, Wibble can't really. I mean, having to crit to deal any amount of damage is basically asking for a TPK. You know. So the best Botha could do is like 3 damage with a Caustic Blast, probably hitting her allies as well. She can't summon animals because they wouldn't do shit. Yeah, this thing's immune to poison and stuff, so that's not gonna help. So had I guess had you maybe like encountered it, realized what it is and what you need to kind of have, and then left, and then she came back the next day and like prepared some different spells. But I don't really have I don't have options as a witch. Like we don't really have, it's not like a wizard. We don't have a slew of options. But you could buy scrolls maybe. I guess you could prepare multiple heal spells and we could just emanate a few times. But still, I mean, the emanation, any of this is still a DC 18 fortitude save. So 50-50 chance of it not taking any damage. I don't know. What is the best way to handle this? I do have this Wand of Heal. We could heal Buzzard on Botha's turn. And then, but his rage is over, I believe. And that's a major source of his damage. So getting him up doesn't really solve any problem. But it's the best thing we got. So, alright, Wibble is going to faint. Again. Probably 3 times. For the fuck of it. Fail. 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 Awesome. Okay, Botha will use her Wand of Heal on Buzzard. Christ. Okay. And she doesn't really have much else to do, so that's that. Garziel, yeah, Garziel will just swing. There's not much else for him to do. You never know. That is a miss. Fucking Christ, man. Yeah, what are you gonna do? And then Buzzard will stand. And go for it. Yeah, so he fell unconscious, so he's not raging. And he'll just swing. Yeah, he hits, but the best he could do here is just like a few damage. 2 damage. And a miss. And that's his turn. And then I think at that point we're dead. They'd have to roll exceedingly poorly for us not to be dead. That's nuts, man. Resistance 5 against everything is I mean, that would be bad enough, but the fact that it can then just summon as many shadows as it wants, which are all basically as powerful as itself. Like, okay, it's clumsy too, so it has -2 to its rolls. Big fucking whoop. They also all still have resistance 5 and deal 2d6 plus 3 void 3 times. Insane. Yeah, so we're gonna have to save Scum. Some poor decisions for sure in combat. Bad luck in combat. Had I actually crit that one time, I think the Major Domo would be probably dead. Should we go back to just see how much that crit would have done? Where was that crit? Yeah, this crit. Okay, I just want to see. Okay, this would have an extra 6. So instead of +3, this would be +9, I think. So 6 doubled. So this would have done 42 damage. -5. 37 damage. We would have obliterated the Major Domo had that one roll gone our way. I made that fucking decision. Like, oh yeah, he should hide in the shadow. That sounds fun. Fuck you, Mang. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna fudge that. That's what happened. We're not gonna do that. So instead, we'll just save Scum and pretend we were never in the fight. Really, quite ridiculous. And I know that this party is not optimized whatsoever. We've made that quite clear over and over. Really, like, no character. Not one of the 4 characters is optimized. And that is definitely a factor. Because this is a hard module. Lay on Hands would have maybe been helpful. We wouldn't have killed it. it would have had to like critically fail these fortitude saves twice for that to occur. So it would have helped. I probably should have done that instead of swinging so many times. I do forget about stuff. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is we're just not too optimized. But that's because, you know, I'm fairly new to the system. And I'm just kind of grabbing things that I think look cool. So, what do you expect? Botha. I think we used a sling bullet. We've got the Wand of Peel. I don't know how we reset this. This back. Focus spool back. It's really poor man's save scum we're doing here. And Wibble used certainly a few bullets. So, what do we think? We fired off like 4 or 5 or something? Actually, no, he had a full magazine. Not fired yet. Okay, I think that's all correct. Yeah. Alright. Let's just pretend we made different choices and we went this way instead. Kicked open both the doors and moved in. This large open area is a filthy mess, even beyond the collapse to the south that clogs part of the room with rubble. Half-eaten fish, cat-sized beetles, and bits of waterfowl lie strewn about in a tangle amid gnawed bones of larger creatures. This large room once served as a common area for servants to relax and take their meals. The southern half of the room, along with the servants' toilets and bathing facilities, were buried under rubble long ago. The collapsed stairwell to the south once led to Area 08 above. The 8 unmarked rooms connecting to this area are ruined bedrooms with nothing of interest. Alright, and we have the Ghost Queen Morlocks. This should be a more interesting, balanced fight. 4 Morlock scavengers are present, fiddling with a partially ruined ballista that they dragged in pieces from Area B21. The Morlocks snarl and hiss if they're interrupted, fighting until only one of them is left standing. Surviving Morlock then tries to flee to Area B12 to warn their king, Growlgust. B12. Get your B12 shots. There it is. So he tries to go that way. Cool. Okay, well, let's get this going. Roll them bones. Wait a minute. No! Whoops, whoops, whoops. We need every advantage we can get, man. So we need the scouting advantage. Well, didn't account for a whole lot. Okay, let's get some different music, perhaps. Servant quarters interior? I don't know if that's much combat music, but sure. Okay, we'll just do just one more fight. Being an encounter. Okay, Buzzard, you are not up there. Okay, what do these things got? They are level 1 creatures. They have some daggers. They can throw daggers. They got some jaws. For 2 actions, they can stride twice, ignoring difficult terrain caused by natural cavern features. At any point during the movement, it can make a melee strike against an enemy within reach. Okay. Too exciting there. They have light blindness. When first exposed to bright light, the monster is blinded until the end of its next turn. Now, this is not something that you would tell your players, okay? And I guess it sort of depends on what you mean by bright light. I mean, chances are your party probably has light spell, like, active. And that might have just a radius mentioned on it. Yeah. Bright light in a 20-foot radius. We have not, because I haven't felt a need to cast it, because this has all been brightly lit. I think, really, this module should be dark. Like, it should be pitch black down here, unless you have a light. I'm surprised that it's not set up that way automatically. I don't know if I have some broken setting. Yeah, I feel like I have some sort of broken setting. Because, like, realistically, this whole place should be pitch black. So it's synchronized with world time. But that should only be true for, like, the upper levels. Or the first level. So really, this place should be fucking dark, you know? But even this... Well, okay, hold on. So if I click guard... Ah, there you go. Okay. So that's what I expected. Okay, because Buzzard and Garziel both have dark vision. So that means that they can see basically in darkness as if it were lit, but it's in black and white, which is really cool. This is how it should be. I don't know why that's not the default, but it's definitely not the default. And then the two characters without dark vision are basically left in the fucking dark. And they can't even see these things. But then, you know, say that we cast light on Garziel. Boom. That's so much better. That's fucking, like, atmosphere. That's proper. And then if we reset Fog of War. There you go. Oh, that's so much better. Because then that's like, oh shit, there's these little creepy monsters in the dark. And so then 20-foot light, bright light. This guy is blinded right now. And, you know, they're all going to move into the bright light, I guess. So he probably could just set them all to be blinded for this turn. I mean, it is more obnoxious as a GM to have this all be so dark. Like, I kind of prefer it when it's all lit up for me. But for players, that's just way better. So I don't know if there's a way to balance that or anything. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, way better. Especially if I'm going to be, like, playing with other people. Obviously, for us, it doesn't matter too much. But I do think it's cool. Okay, so... Right, light blindness. As long as the monster's in an area of bright light, it's dazzled. Okay, so we'll add blinded to all of them for now, as we burst in with this light spell. They do get sneak attack, which is pretty good. And they have swarming stance. They can share the same space as another Morlock. When Morlocks share the same space, they gain +1 circumstance bonus to attack rolls. Alright, well, this one's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 right here. And he's going to try and attack with his dagger, of course. And he misses. He probably should miss a lot. He's immune to visual effects. Wait, what? How can he be immune to visual effects but have light blindness? What? It doesn't make any sense. So blindness doesn't even affect attack rolls? It must. It's actually a good question. Because, like, would they even... They don't have a... Would they even find us? Would they be able to move to us? Or would they just, like... Would they just, like, hang out on their turn? Okay, I think they wouldn't even do that. They would just, like, scuttle back. Because they can kind of ignore difficult terrain. So I think he would just, like, scuttle back into the darkness a little bit while he's blind. And then no longer be blind. This one, scuttling back. So you're blinded from these two. This one is definitely still blind. Garziel's gonna go. He's gonna move up here, target this asshole, and swing. Hit. For 11 damage. Solid. And then he will raise his shield. Buzzard, of course. Raging. 5, 10, 15, 20. And he will attack this thing. And he's going to crit. Now he crits, no problem. Obliterating it. And then he'll turn his attention on this other one here. Hit it. Excellent. $15 damage to that. Wibble is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. It's fine. He's going to target this thing. Yeah, he'll feint. Why not? Do a little pistol twirl action on this thing. Although it's... Wait a minute. Doesn't it have to see for the feint to occur? How can he see that? It doesn't say it, though. He just can sense that I'm twirling my pistol in his general direction. No part of feint or pistol twirl mentions a visual trait to it. And it only has the mental trait. So, yeah, he can fucking twirl his pistol at him. I crit success. Okay. Off guard. And then we'll shoot him in the head. Yeah. 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 Only 3 damage. Damn it. Fucking Wibble. Alright, and Botha. 5, 10, 15. 25. And she'll use Caustic Blast, of course. I mean, we could summon an animal, but this fight seems pretty easy. Yeah, damn, we'll go for them. Roll the 1, so he takes double that, 14 damage. That balanced out. Alright. And then this one finally gets to go. He is blinded. So I guess he'll use Scuttling Attack. So he can stride twice and at any point attack. So he'll go here and swing out with a dagger. He crit. Ow. 10 damage. Yes, we will use the Liberating Step. So, but it's not gonna... It says yes, choose target. But then it doesn't do anything with that. I have to actually... See, I have to open Liberating Step. Annoying. And then do this. And then click damage. And then it'll remove the damage. And then I have to go in here and remove that effect. Okay, and then he's going to go up here. Okay. Yeah. Then we got more scavengers. So they're dazzled now instead of blinded. Dazzled. Dazzled. Bedazzled. Okay. And, he's gonna move here. And, strike out this dagger. Also another crit, unfortunately. Buzzard's eating it. And then he'll do a second dagger. Another hit. Damn, Buzzard. Okay. And this one is going to, he'll move here for 1, and then he'll use Scuttling Strike or whatever to swing. And roll a 2, thankfully. And then he'll move back and move on to this guy. Okay. Garziel, 5, 20. That's difficult terrain. But then he'll swing. Hit. 7 damage is a kill. And then he'll raise his shield, I guess, for the hell of it. Buzzard's going to take care of things, though. Buzzard will just move up here. And swing. Critically missing, of course. And then swing a second time. Hitting. Boom, 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 boom. 14 damage. Good. Then Wibble's gonna go. I don't know. Let's do a little feint action. Failure. Do another feint just for the fun of it. Critical failure. Alright, and then we'll just shoot. For 1d4 damage. It's enough to get a kill. Haha. And Botha will go. I think we're going to be doing another Caustic Blast. Five damage. What's your roll? Well, it's enough. Haha. Easy encounter. Yeah, that one is a lot easier, actually. Okay. End encounter. That was a severe encounter. It's ridiculous. What? Who makes these rules up? The last one was fucking severe. What are you talking about? Anyways. Botha will take some time to heal up old Buzzard. We do not have natural medicine, so we're not going to... Okay, crit, sure. That didn't even heal him to full. But Garziel will use Lay on Hands. There you go. Okay, and our shield's still perfectly good, so that's it. DC 28 perception check. You ready for this shit? I have to crit. You have to crit! I'm one off! Fuck! What a hard check! Holy God. So that's that secret door. Which isn't much of a secret door, to be honest. Okay, these rooms specifically said hold nothing of value. But you could hold up in there if you want to heal for a bit. Okay. And I think... Are we assuming that all these hold nothing of value? That's what it looks like. So, we'll pretend we opened all of them and move on. Okay. Moving on to the next area. See how much harder it is now with all this fog of war shit? It's intense. Where's Wibble? I couldn't even find Wibble. That's how dark it is. Alright, kick in the door. A desk with a chair sits in the middle of this room, while 3 empty picture frames hang on the walls. More importantly, there's 2 Morlocks. Growlgus commanded a pair of Ghost Queen Morlocks to guard this room, but they're more interested in tinkering with the broken clockwork assistant. the major domo left behind. Their distraction gives them a -2 penalty to initiative checks. Okay. Pretty simple. It's a very cramped room, but that's what we've got. So let's give ourselves scouting, of course. And do some more rolls. This is a moderate encounter. I believe... Yes. Yeah, these are these guys. So they get the -2. Okay, despite that, one of the Morlocks did crit. So, he will be going first. What you got for me? Some similar features. They actually do have light blindness, which is gonna bother them. But yeah, I think you can't see. Oh, immune to visual effects. That was from blindness. Okay, I'm an idiot. You can't detect anything using vision. So I think that, like, you get there. I don't know. They're undetected. Yeah, we're all undetected. You stride at half speed. Everything is either hidden or undetected to you. You need to pass a DC 11 flat check to attack anything, and that's assuming you know what square your target is in. You're also flat-footed or off guard. Yeah, so I think we're undetected. So they don't even know what space Garziel occupies. So they'd have to use Seek in order to make him hidden to them. And then, you know, if they pass that, which they have a -4 to, then they can actually know what square he's in, and then they can try and target him. But then that's that DC 11 flat check, you know, the 50-50. So it's pretty... Being blinded is pretty shitty in combat. You don't want to be blinded. Okay, so then the first thing it's going to do is try to seek. Obviously not a success. Well, actually, it's against his stealth DC. I guess that sort of makes sense. He's definitely not very stealthy. So he's, you know, making noise and stuff like that. You know, he's a presence on the battlefield. So his stealth DC is actually 11. Very close. I don't know if I counted the -4. Oh, I did. Okay. And that's another 10, so another failure. Is there anything else that he could do? Not really. It's sort of a really shitty position for him to be in. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll roll another perception. No, he rolled 3 7s in a row. Wow. Okay, Both is gonna go. Still don't think it's worth summoning an animal. But soon there will be a time. So instead, we're just going to cast Caustic Blast. It's so good. That 5-foot burst not working out for me. No, God, what's the point? 1 damage. Awesome. Thank you, Botha, for participating. Wibble Fizzle Crank. Does he... Okay, Botha's going to step back, so Wibble get a slightly better view. Again, I don't know if you'd count this. I don't know if a DM would give me that. But we can see his hand. See his hand? You can see his hand sticking out. It counts. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is officially. And frankly, I don't care. I'm firing. I'm fainting and firing. So I moved, fainted, I fired. Miss. Okay, thank you, Wibble, for playing the game. We have 2 basically useless characters and 2 pretty good characters. Alright, Garziel is going to move up. I think this thing is no longer blinded until the end of its next turn. But he's blind. He was blinded before combat broke out, when the door opened. So I don't know. He's probably not blind anymore. He's probably just dazzled. Oops. So dazzled. If vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed from you. Okay, so he's not automatically off guard from concealed. But he does have to do the DC 5 flat check whenever he tries and hits Garziel, which I wasn't doing for those other Morlocks, but whatever. Okay, so Garziel moved, and then he will swing and hit. 9 damage, and then he will raise his shield. Buzzard, you already know. He's raging. Then he's going to move in here. And then he's going to swing. And miss. Of course. The other Morlock is blinded, so he's going to try and seek out Buzzard. As you do. Yeah, just roll separate checks. Okay, roll a 20, so that can't be correct. His stealth DC is 15. So he did seek him. He's now hidden. Now it's a DC 11 flat check to hit Buzzard. It is not very good. They do have swarming stance, so maybe he would move here and give them both swarming stance, and then try and swing at Buzzard. He got the 12, so he is allowed to swing, and he did hit. Against all odds, it all came together. 10 damage. Yeah, let's use Liberating Step. Drop that down to 6 damage. Okay, and he is no longer blinded. Instead, dazzled. The other Morlock, it's going to be lashing out at Garziel, of course. So we'll just see if any of these hits. Oh, that has swarming stance, so that's +1. Still a miss, though. Second one. Critical miss. And a third one, which he'd have to crit on. No, sir. Okay, so none of that mattered. Botha, just no. Botha is a just no. Wibble will attempt his feints as usual. Someday it'll work out. It's a 55% chance of success. Nope. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And 1d4 damage if he doesn't get his off guard. Brilliant. Okay, Garziel. Swing, swing, swing away. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 12 damage. Okay, he'll swing a second time just for shits and giggles. Actually, I should be demoralizing. Whoops. Oh, well. Then he'll raise his shield. Buzzard, though, will take care of all our needs. Here we go. Hits. 13 damage. Dead and dying. Done. Now we got a fresh target to go after. His second swing is a miss. And his third swing, yeah. Let's try and trip him, I suppose, just for fun. This is -10 due to the multi-attack penalty, unfortunately. You never know. Oh, okay, that's the danger of tripping. Yes. Actually, I had a very good chance of falling prone myself. Because his DC's 21, I'm rolling a -2. So, really, if I have to roll a 14 or higher to avoid falling prone myself. That's good to note. Very dumb, Buzzard. Okay, Morlock, though, will, of course, capitalize on him being prone and immediately try and stab him. And easily crit. I mean, very easily crit in that scenario. Yeah, it's a very interesting system, that -10, +10 sort of crit system. He does not have Swarming Stance, though. Oh, no, that wasn't a crit. I'm sorry. He rolled extremely low. What did he roll? He rolled a 5, right. But he does not have Swarming Stance, so it was actually a 14, not a 15. So it's a miss, I'm afraid. Let's turn off Swarming Stance. And another miss. And a hit. Oh, that one was a hit. Yep, 16. And Garziel will use Liberating Step again to help out our little buddy. And damage to Buzzard. Okay. Botha will still not play the game. I feel like, yeah, you probably could have better healers than that. I guess you probably want a healer that can heal, but is also just shit. Is also just a useful character otherwise. Which has also kind of been historically my problem in like Wrath of the Righteous. If I ever make like a dedicated healer character, they tend to be useless otherwise. And then more recently, it's you don't even bother making a healer character because you just kill stuff and then you don't worry about it and you just use scrolls and shit. So, there's that. What am I doing? Wibble. Yes, Wibble is fainting. Of course. We all know that. And he's going to succeed now. Because how could he fail with a 55% chance? There you go. Success. He's off guard to this shot. Oh, did that automatically apply the... Wow. That's pretty nice. Except you didn't really count the off guard for his AC. So... But okay, sure. 3 fucking damage. That's not good. Alright, Garziel. We're going to try and demoralize him first. Intimidating prowess. Oh, you know what I forgot? This guy's been dazzled. I wish it automatically did those flat checks for me, because I keep forgetting. We're going to go back and check Buzzard's damage there. Alright, so he's frightened. Then we're going to swing and miss. And then our third action, let's just swing again. Miss. Okay, so Buzzard took 2 hits. No, 1 hit. He took 1 hit. Right, so let's just... So, yeah. Most likely it'll still go through. He'd have to roll a 4 or less. Alright, never mind. Alright, Buzzard, this is your chance for revenge. He has slighted you. Oh, let's stand. So stand for 1. Swing for 2. Crit. This is all ogre. 37 damage. Off with his fucking head. Done. Easy. Man, they're just carrying clubs. Easy peasy. Easy XP. We're up to 270 to level 3 already. That's not, it's not terrible. I feel like Wibble probably wants to reload. He's got 1 bullet left. So how do I swap that? I don't. The system's not designed for that. To have just like a magazine, like to differentiate it, but I think it wouldn't be that hard to differentiate it. What if I do like that? No, because that'll just rename the whole thing. There's no way to separate this? I wonder if I can... reload magazine. Cool. Okay, so if I add this as a separate item, that would be the way to do it. So then we could make this 4 of them, and this is 1 of them. And then he should be able to differentiate. There you go. Boom. Okay. A crude way to handle it, but it works. So he'll reload his gun. I wish it were better. Do we want to sit here and wait? Let's fucking just lay on hands and keep moving. Okay, let's go this way. Boom. Into the washroom. One wall of this washroom has been gouged out by sharp claws, revealing a rough-hewn tunnel leading west. Okay. Moving on. Oh yeah, I guess we would wait 1 minute. We'd wait 1 minute for Buzzard to calm down and then get ready to be angry again. To ensure that he can always be raging. Alright, and then we'd enter into this tunnel. I think we see something here. Water drips down the walls of this cavern, particularly along a jumble of dangling pallid roots to the south. Beneath them is a large, soggy nest of mud and bones. This cavern is the result of years of erosion, and its damp, earthy environs make it a perfect home for the Morlock's recently acquired pet, a Grotholet flesh warp. Growlgust rescued the Grotholet from a cage deeper in the Abomination vaults, and the aberration dotes on the Morlock the way a loyal dog adores its master. It attacks anyone who enters this cave other than Growlgust, fighting to the death. Yeah, you read that line of text quite a bit throughout this adventure. Alright, well, you're visible then, clearly, and we're getting into it. So, we're scouting. We are raising our shield. And we are... This is a low threat encounter. We shouldn't have any problem. This is a level 2 creature. Level 3 creature. Okay. It's immune to acid. Great. But we might summon an animal here, just for fun. Grotholet goes first. Okay, that's annoying. Begin encounter. I assume you're not going to have music for just this thing. No, we've got music for the flooded cavern. Wherever that is. There it is. And Growlgust's throne room. But let's swap music to something a little different. Just change of pace. Fighting for tomorrow. Alright. So, he's got claws. He's got a digestive spew. Which does some splash. Range increment of 15 feet. So it's not a very far spew. I don't know what Disgusting Demise is. It's something on a death. So we'll wait to see what that is. But he has Piteous Moan. 60 feet. Each non-Grotholet creature that enters or starts its turn within the area must succeed at a DC 17 will saving throw or become sickened 1. Then becoming temporarily immune for 1 minute. Okay. It will definitely be piteously moaning. And a 60-foot range. Yeah, I mean, it's going to get everybody. It's a moan, so it's just spreading throughout this whole region. So we're going to do DC 7. Okay, no, that's incorrect. I forget. Get this out of my face. We have to link this in chat. And then everyone else. This is not a fear effect. I don't believe the aura. Nope. Yeah, saving throws against fear. This is a sickening effect, not a fear effect. Buzzard is fine. Everyone is fine, actually. Awesome. We don't give a shit about your moan, dude. Alright, but that was a free action on his turn, so nothing to say about that. And we're all going to be immune to that now. We're not bothered by the Grotholet. Look at this thing. How do I zoom in further? Oh my god! Oh my god! Does he have a nose ring? What the fuck is that? Or is that just spittle? Anyways. He could digestive spew, but it does seem kind of ineffectual compared to him just blocking off the entrance. So he'll move for 1 and claw for 2. Doesn't really have that many. Okay, he'll crit. I mean, that's a good start. Why does Buzzard have Liberating Step? Oh, because I dragged Liberating Step onto his thing. Yeah, don't do that. Okay. Well, yes, obviously. 36 damage! Holy shit. Holy, he maxed it out? Yeah, he God damn it. Crits are so brutal. So, 28 damage went through. Gargiel's nearly dead. His shield is nearly broken. Fuck me. Alright, and then he'll follow it up with another one. Thankfully missing. Christ. Okay, Botha is gonna go. And she is going to summon an animal for 3 actions. Cast. Okay, so. I already have the compy ready to go. So we'll just put it down. And it goes on her turn. Because she uses the action to make it happen. But then it also gets 2 actions when you cast it. I don't know why none of that is mentioned here in the text. Because that seems kind of useful to know. But yes, it does get the 2 actions right away. Because it's a 3 action thing to cast. So it goes right away. And that's good. Because we're gonna be biting. And it hit. Its first action ever. Hit. Excellent. 1d6 damage. Easy 4 damage. It's more than fucking Both has done the whole adventure. Okay. So now it has to now it has to make a DC 16 fortitude check. Which it almost certainly will. Yeah, okay. I mean, we didn't expect much different. And then it'll get a second roll, which, yeah, I mean, almost certainly was going to miss. But, you know, it's just something there. Now, I think the problem is this needs to be classified as our buddy. Yes. Yeah, it needs to be in the party. Because then it gets the martial aura and it counts for flanking purposes. I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do with it. Now, she probably could have used her turn to heal Garziel instead. Yeah. I'll give you that. Alright, but Wibble's going. And Wibble is just going to snipe this thing in the head. It's all going to be awesome. He's going to faint, and this thing's not going to know what's going on with this pistol twirling. And he failed by 1. That's a low perception DC, though, so he'll try again. And we succeeded. Barely. Good. So he'll shoot. Fire. And he got a 15, which is okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And very low amount of damage. That is just not impressive whatsoever. Compare that to Mauricial from the beginner box, level 1, when she was stabbing with her dagger or whatever, her short sword, and getting good sneak attack damage. Like it, because she adds her dex mod, so flat damage is just so good. 1d4 plus 1d6 means that, yeah, you can do fucking 2 damage and feel like a shit. So, alright, Buzzard, of course. Rage, always. Then he's going to tumble through. So, he's technically in Garziel's space when he tries to tumble through. Acrobatics versus its reflex. He succeeds. So he treats it as difficult terrain. So that would be 5, 15, 20. I don't know if this is difficult terrain as well, but he can do that. He can also be here, I guess. And then he's going to swing. Now, he's not off guard. Wouldn't made much of a difference, though. Boom! 16 damage! See, it's all thanks to the flat damage. It's huge. Excellent. Very good, Buzzard. You're doing the Lord's work. Alright, Garziel. Let's start with, let's start with a Demoralize. That's pretty handy to do. Intimidating Prowess. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Success. So close to a crit. Damn. That would have been very nice. And then he'll swing. Critting on an 18, thanks to that little compy. Aww. That could have been the end of the battle right there had he rolled a 10 or an 8. Alright, and then he'll raise his shield. No. This could be disastrous. Yeah, he's going to try and finish off Garziel and eat him, so let's just roll that. Oh, a miss! Yes! Missing on a 6 feels good. Actually, he would have missed on a... He would have missed on a 10. It's pretty nice. Having worse than even odds to hit. Okay, he's desperate here. Nope. Alright, Botha, her first action will be to command her compy. So let's just do that. Compy hit again. Compy has, I think, done more damage now than Wibble. And then we do the Venom. Unlikely to make a difference, but yeah, okay. And then a second Jaw. Another hit! Dude, the compy is better than Wibble. That's a problem. I'm gonna have to totally respec Wibble. I think we have to abandon the gun idea. Forget it exists. Or make him a gunslinger or something. I still like the idea of him as a rogue. Even though I know ranged rogues are kind of bad. But I don't know. Could make him an alchemist. If we want to do like him as a bomber instead. Because I kind of want to keep him as like the intelligent sort of mastermind character. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to keep that core concept of the mastermind criminal halfling ranged. And we'll see what I can come up with. But yeah, he's clearly got a lot of issues. Okay, so that was Botha's one action. Her second action will be probably the heal wand. Let's use the heal wand on Garzi. Two action to heal. Okay. Good. It's not a super big amount, but it works. Okay, Wibble Bizzle Crank. Let's make it happen, man. Make it happen, man. Crit. Yes. We can just give him off guard to everything. The Buzzard will probably kill him then. Alright, and he's gonna shoot. He hits. For 3 fucking damage. So shit. You know, this is all a learning experience. So it's all good. I mean, I agree that getting the critical success on Feint to give all your buddies off guard like that, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Because now, look at that. Buzzard hit. Buzzard nearly crit, actually. But that's going to be the end of Grothlot, who now uses Disgusting Demise. Its digestive organs rupture, unleashing alchemical acid and poison upon all creatures in a 30-foot emanation. That's probably going to be everybody. Oh no, based on line of sight and stuff, I guess Botha would not get hit by this. Depending on how you position this. No, I think, yeah, in this square, Botha would not get hit. Okay. But these others will have to do DC 19 Fortitude. Okay, Buzzard failed, and the Compy, of course, failed. Unfortunately. So... it's not a basic save. Because a basic save always works the same way. Yeah, basic save always works the same way, where it does a certain amount of damage, half on failure, double on crit. Critical failure. No. Sorry. Certain amount of damage, half on success, double on critical failure, and nothing on critical success. That's always how the basic saves work, so they can save a lot of time writing that out. But this is not a basic save, so if you fail, you take 2d6, and that's it, and become sickened 1. But also double damage and on crit fail. So, okay, Compy and Buzzard are going to be taking 8 damage, which I think will actually kill the poor Compy. Yeah, that's alright. The battle's over, so he goes away anyways. And we end the encounter. Easy little 60 XP. Fun enough little battle. Do we want to go in where the chieftain is and just do that right now and wrap this up? Yeah. Yes, I do. Of course I do. Meaning that I'm not going to leave. But we'll sit here in this disgusting room. No, we won't sit here in this disgusting room. We're gonna go back to this area. We'll use some of these private rooms, I guess. And Botha will take Garziel in and patch him up. Definitely do not have natural medicine here. Yeah, 7 healing is getting to be not too much at this point. And I guess I already did recently patch up Buzzard, and it has not been an hour. So that's it. Should I use the heal spell? You know what? I'm gonna cast heal. We're gonna emanate it. Come on, just roll big. Fucking 2. What a shit. I know I said that I learned my lesson. I would never do anything but the 2 action heal. But I was really hoping that I'd get like at least 4 out of it. Oh well. Okay, that's it. And now we're gonna continue on. I think this, realistically, this guy would have heard that whole fight. But whatever. Also, no longer raging. What is this effect you have? Yeah, that's gone. Okay. And we enter. A sofa-like throne made of an old mattress, several pieces of reconstructed furniture, and dozens of bones sprawls along the northern side of this room. A narrow rivulet of muddy water trickles from a narrow tunnel to the south and forms a puddle in the room's center. Growlgust, the self-styled king of the Ghost Queen Morlocks, has chosen the Major Domo's old bedroom as his throne room. He has rebuilt the older furniture in this area into an immense throne of sorts, and he's attended at all times by a Morlock servant tasked with sharpening Growlgust's fingernails and toenails, rubbing his feet, feeding him worms, or whatever else Growlgust demands. Okay. Was there anything in the... No, there was nothing in the den. Okay. Growlgust fancies himself something of a worldly diplomat, but since he speaks only Aklo and Undercommon, communication with the heroes might be difficult. If he can't establish communication, Growlgust grows annoyed and sends his Morlock servants to fight the heroes. Growlgust steps into the fight only once his servant is slain or if he's attacked directly. If he's reduced to 30 hit points, he spends an action to howl for his pet Grothlet in Area B13. Okay, well, he certainly can't communicate with us, because we're all idiots. Even Wibble, who speaks quite a few languages. I picked all the common shit. I didn't know about Aklo and Undercommon. Because when I was picking languages, this is your big list of languages, okay? It's massive. It's fucking insane. And most of these languages I've never heard of, such as Aklo. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't want to really pick any uncommon languages because I'm less likely to encounter them because they're uncommon. So I'll just pick a bunch of common stuff, I suppose. That's such like a newbie fucking trick. Who's picking Aklo? I don't know. Alright, well, so obviously he gets frustrated and we go into battle with his servant. Growlgust looks cool. We do have music for this section. There you go. The Morlock is going first. He's been ordered by his king to slay us, so he will do so. There is the light blindness, but I'm actually gonna ignore the blinded part because he was blinded when we first entered, but they didn't attack. He tried to talk to us. So, yeah, obviously by the time combat breaks out, this guy's just dazzled. But that's bad enough. So he'll move up to Garziel. And a swing and miss. And swing and miss. Alright. Buzzard, of course, as always, fucking gets pissed. He hates everything. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Depending on if a DM counts that as difficult terrain. If he does, then 5, 10... 15, 25. Yeah, that's still fine. Third action is a swing and a hit. 14 damage to this little servant bitch. Now, I think most people would target the king sitting there, but you'd specifically mention that he gestures to his servant and he sits back and, like, puts some worms in his mouth as he watches, you know? And players definitely will still probably attack him, but you definitely make note that he's not rolling initiative and he's not actively doing anything. Alright, so first Wibble will feint against this little bitch. And succeed. So then he will shoot and hit. And maybe we'll roll okay. 5 whole damage at level 2. That is big numbers. And he'll roll and hit. For 5 more damage. Amazing. Okay, Batha. You already know. We're summoning that shit again, because I like it. Summon animal! Bring me the compy! So the compy can't get any flank benefit here, unfortunately. But that's alright. He don't need it. I'm gonna bite the shit out of this guy anyway. Miss on an 8. And miss on a 12. Alright, McGarziel has got this. Let's demoralize. We like that. We like doing that stuff. Intimidation with prowess. And he is demoralized. Excellent. Then we will swing and hit. Okay, 9 damage. Nearly there. I could swing again. And we could put an end to this before doing anything. And we hit. That was very fortunate. Although he's got 14 AC off guard. So, we had a 50-50 shot there. 8 damage, and we drop the Morlock. Okay, and Growlgus now steps into the fight. So we're going to add him. Hide this thing. Roll for Growlgust. He goes after Buzzard. Yeah, I think Buzzard would just go after him and say fuck it. So he'll move there, and then he'll swing. And miss. And then, should we try a trip? I doubt it'll work, but let's try a trip. This is at -5. Yeah. We've already seen the penalty to fuck up trips, so we should be careful. But alright, Growlgust. Look at him! Look at this guy! Ah! I love you just show that to your players. They get a real good idea what they're facing. Alright, so he's got the usual stuff. He is also dazzled. Let's not forget. Which is really a debilitating thing. He's got occult attack, 2 actions. He strides up to half his speed, ignoring difficult terrain caused by natural cavern features. At any point during its movement, the Morlock cultist can cast a spell that normally takes 2 actions or fewer to cast. And he does know... Wow, okay, there's his abilities. A lot of spells. So he's got Mirror Image, which is pretty important for him, I think. Phantom Pain. This is heightened now. Yeah, that's pretty good, too. Okay, so Occult Attack's pretty important for him. Two actions... And so it's basically he casts a spell, but he gets a free half movement for 15 squares. Well, obviously he's going to cast a spell. 30-foot line. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Okay, so he's going to do his occult attack to move there into the corner. And then he's going to cast Grim Tendrils. So we got a 30-foot line. Right there, I'm thinking. Roll damage. It's only 2d4. Which isn't much. I also take 1 bleeding. if they fail. Okay, so the copy critically failed, unfortunately. Double damage, which is 4, and double the persistent. Garzil just takes half, and Buzzard takes 2 damage and the persistent bleed. So we're gonna put... no. So not correct. Yeah, doesn't seem to be a system here for persistent damage. So I think we have to target Buzzard, click this. And that did what? What did that just do? I don't think that did anything to anybody. What does this button do? That's what I want to know. Yeah, it didn't do it to anybody, even though I have Buzzard selected. Now, what if I click... No, that won't do anything. How do you do persistent damage? Okay, if I drag it onto him, and then I drag it onto this, and can I drag it again? Yes. No. Are you serious? There's no easy way to do that? There's no easy way for this compy to just take extra persistent damage. Oh, there we go. 2 bleed. Yes, okay. Great. Not a very speedy thing. Which isn't that big of a deal, but I feel like I have to kind of point it out, because so much of the rest of this is all pretty speedy. Okay, that wasn't a very good turn for him, to be honest, but it may deal with the compy. He has 1 action left if he wanted to do something else. He could put up shield, which he probably will do, because he's quite terrified of all this stuff happening. Okay, Wibble. Mirror Image probably would have been better, but I feel like he needs to put out some damage numbers. So Wibble will move up. He's going to feint. Like so. Rolling a 4. And then I guess he'll just shoot, because what the fuck else does he do? Miss. Alright. 22 AC right now. Alright, Botha. Botha's gonna cast Life Boost on the compy. So she's gonna move up here. It's sort of a weird, but she's in the wall, but whatever. She's gonna cast Life Boost on the compy, which will cancel out the bleed. And then she's got 1 more action. She could put Life Boost on somebody else. Or she could cast Guidance. She'll throw out Guidance onto Buzzard. Alright. It's good enough. Wait a minute! No, no. She has to fucking command... She has to sustain it. No, no, no. No, no. We're actually getting some lag here nowadays. We got too many effects going on. So her 3rd action is going to be to command the compy to go. Compy has to go 5, 10... No. No, no, no. 5, 10... And get up onto that bed. We're counting that as difficult terrain, so... 5... 15, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, and then its 2nd action will be to bite him. Miss. On a 14. That is a bummer. This guy's quite armored. Garziel. 5, 10, 20. lag. So that was one action. I don't think raising shield is that big of a deal here. So we're gonna go for demoralize, because that's more important. Oh, that should be +1. +1 would not make it a crit, though. Got a will DC of 21. We did quite well. And then his third action will be a swing. Bada. No. Alright. Buzzard. Do we want to attempt to trip this motherfucker? I'm iffy on that, to be honest. I think we have our best shot at just hitting him, and he doesn't have that much health, so we kind of just want to hit him. That is the problem with having Buzzard be our trip guy. That would be better, like, yeah, I mean, like if Wibble had a whip or something, and could just ranged trip. I'm pretty sure that exists. Whip. Yeah, reach, trip. I don't know if it's only 10-foot reach. Vine whip, fucking 500 gold. The rest of this stuff is uncommon. It's all reach trip, though. So I think there probably is like a whip build that might be of some potential use. It's kind of interesting. But for now, Buzzard is just going to swing. Not going to make any fancy deal of it. And he hits. That's all I care about. 13 damage. Okay, he does have a good amount of health, 58. We're always fishing for crits. Miss. And he'll go a third time, even though he would have to crit. Damn. Alright, Growlgust is fucking backed into a corner. Oh yeah, this is all automated, by the way. So he took the damage from bleed, and then he rolled his recovery check automatically because he has to get 15 or higher, and then I critically failed that, but I don't think that matters. Okay, what is he going to do in this position? He could mirror image as 2 actions. Yeah, it is probably the best. So he'll mirror image. So now, any attack that would hit him has now a random chance of hitting one of his images instead of him. Pretty good. It's pretty good. For his third action, he's just going to club Garziel. I mean, probably clubbing the compy would be better, but he'll club Garziel. Okay, so now he did land a hit, but he is dazzled. So if he rolls 4 or less... Nope, okay. So 9 damage to Garziel, who did not raise his shield. I didn't think I needed it. Okay, Wibble is going to go. Wibble's going to try to pick away at some of these mirror images. That's like his best utility. But he'll faint because that last shot is really shitty anyways. Yeah, alright, whatever. Okay, then he'll shoot. Alright, he did hit. So we'll roll 2 damage. Now I think we have to roll 1d4, so he'll always be 1 on whatever roll we do. Okay, so we destroyed one of his mirror images. That'll tick down to 2. And then he'll shoot again. So maybe we'll get another mirror image. Ho ho ho! Another hit. Okay, so now it's a 1d3. Again, if we roll a 1. What? You can't roll a 1d3? Oh, God. Okay. So then we have to do 1d6. If it's a 1 or a 2, it hits him. Oh. No, never mind. There you go. 1d3. Okay, so we actually hit him for fucking 2 damage, which is the worst case scenario. Alright, Botha will be... There's not many things I can do. Obviously, we're going to have the compy go, so let's just do that. It's going to try and bite him. Hit. Critically missed. Okay, thank you. And then its second hit is a miss. Shame. Then Botha's other 2 turns, I don't know, probably just like guidance. We'll throw out guidance on these 2. I could chuck a sling, I suppose. That would have been not too bad. Alright, Garziel will swing with guidance. Oh, the lag. We got too much going on. Okay, 8 damage. Again, 1d3. We rolled a 1 again. Alright, this is working out. 8 damage. But you know that Buzzard's gonna fucking crit. And then it's... it's gonna go to his mirror image, and I'm gonna throw my computer out. Alright, second attack. He crit. Oh god, this is it. This is it. This is where it happens. Fucking hell. God damn it! I knew it! I knew it! I don't even want to roll damage. It'll just make me feel bad. Alright, so there's now 2... There's just 1 mirror image. And then he's gonna raise his shield. His third act. Alright, well, it gives Buzzard a better odds of hitting, so... So I can't be that upset. I knew it had to happen at some point. Alright, come on, Buzzard. Miss. You rolled a 4. That's really shitty. Miss, because you rolled a 4. You suck, Buzzard. Oh, you hit on a -1! Because you rolled a 20. Damn! I guess. So now there's a 1d2. And it's a 1. Alright. I'll take that. Okay, so this guy has 24 health left. It says that if he's reduced to 30 hit points, he spends an action to howl. So he does that. I mean, he spends the action to howl. He doesn't know that the creature's dead. But yeah, that would make players sweat a little bit, you know? Like, oh, he spends one of his actions and he's howling. It sounds like he's calling for something. Like, oh shit. Oh shit. Because, you know, there's like this passageway here and stuff that they probably haven't gone down, things like that. You know, so who knows? But yeah, then, okay. He could try and tumble through. He doesn't have many options. I mean, he's fucked, and he knows he's fucked. But Bane would affect all 3 of these, whereas Phantom Pain Yeah, alright. He'll use Phantom Pain on Garziel. Why did you roll 4d4? Oh, because it's heightened. Right. Alright, and then Garziel has to roll. Garziel failed, so he takes the full damage of 10. And he's sickened 1. And he takes 2d4 persistent mental. If I can put that on him. 2d4 persistent. Not fun. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But okay, that was his turn. Buzzard is still taking bleeding damage. Wibble is going to do his usual nonsense until I fucking respec him completely. Fuck. God damn it. Alright, fine. Fine, man. I just want to do 1d4 damage to you. Oh, but he still has a mirror image up, so let's roll. Hopefully get a 2. God damn it. Alright. Botha is going to command the compy. Who hits? Okay, did you hit him or the mirror image? I'm okay with either, to be honest. Okay, you hit the mirror image, so that's gone now. Okay, and then the other one is a miss. But still, he served a valuable purpose for Garziel and Buzzard, so I'm okay with that. Botha's next action. Probably life boost. So she's gonna have to move in a little bit, target him with life boost, which will not solve the problem that he has. He's probably gonna have to use a potion on his turn. It said that once he gets rid of Sicken, he loses the persistent damage. So he can retch, which lets him attempt a fortitude save right away against it. So that's probably what he's going to be doing on his turn. But that way he gets a little bit of health. Okay, good. Alright, so he's going to spend his first action puking. So he's going to roll fortitude, which is affected by sickened. He crit! Alright, awesome. He's no longer sickened, and he no longer has the persistent damage. Normally it doesn't work like that, but that was a specific thing with Phantom Pain. It's all in his mind, man. Good. Awesome. He has no time for your phantom bullshit. He's just gonna swing. And he hits. He rolls damage. He gets an 8. Yes. Boom. He's nearly done now. All right, we'll try and do. Oh, yet again. Yes. Oh. And you rolled another 8. Dude, he was fucking pissed. Pissed about that phantom nonsense in his head. No patience for that. Desna's the only thing that gets in his head. Alright, and that was the encounter. Done. 120 XP for that. Hot diggity dog. We're almost halfway to 3. He had nothing in his inventory, so that's a bummer. Let's cool this music. There's actually no treasure in this room whatsoever. Damn, where's all his treasure? That's crazy. And if we poke our head in here, which you normally would not do, because that would be really stupid. Okay, so there's nearly invisible trip lines stretching across this room. So, as far as Garziel sees, it's just a bewildering array of timbers, metal parts, gears, bits of broken weapons, trash. And he's bleeding, so he's not really even going to attempt. I guess he's next to the trap, so he could roll a perception to see, but his perception is garbage. He's not going to bother with that. Okay, yeah, I was really hoping for some treasure here. It's kind of remarkable. The Morlocks have nothing. He didn't have any money on him. He had nothing. Nothing. I guess. I mean, what would you really expect him to have? But yeah, there's nothing there. Alright, so we're gonna retrace our steps. We'll go back to town. I actually think some time did pass. It's probably like at least another day. And I'm gonna leave it off here. I'm gonna go and respec Wibble. We'll try to get him to a good functionals position where he can do something. I think Botha has improved a lot with the compy, and that's only going to get better once she gets to level 3. So that helps a lot with her utility. Yeah, I mean, you know, usually spellcasters level 1, level 2 are not too hot. That's just how it's been for decades. So I can't say I'm too surprised, but I do like the summon animal. And she will get better. So if we can get Wibble up to, you know, her level or a little above her level in performance, then I think we have a decent party here. Yeah. All right. My name is Mang. Game watching has been Pathfinder 2nd edition with the Abomination Vaults. And I'll see you fine folks in the next part.